all species of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu. Today is the 8th day of the 10th month, which is October in the year of our Lord 2021. Without wasting time, we are going to hand over the microphone to our HOD, head of the directorate, Mazi Chika Edoziem. Please, over to you, Mazi.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan. Am I coming out clear, please?
You are coming out crystal clear. Please, go on.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to you, wonderful and great Biafran people. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. By the grace of Chukwu Kikabiama Promihenine, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Permit me to begin this evening to extend the greetings of the leader of this great movement, the supreme commander of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to the worldwide IPB family. I believe many of you already have seen the update from our attorney, the very honorable barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. But I would not start that evening without intimating Biafrans worldwide that Onyendu, as he is worth doing, once again sends his love and greetings and regard to each and every one of us, and we are all in his prayers. And we as well now continue to put him in our prayers and our supplications before Elohim. Great Biafrans, I want to begin this very night or morning, afternoon, depending on your time zone. I want to begin with the meeting that was held by the Southeast governors a couple of days ago. And permit me, please, indulge me a little bit, because I want to read from the so-called communique that emanated, that was the result of that very meeting. Southeast governors rose from a meeting in Enugu on Tuesday and declared that they will do everything to end the sit-at-home order of the proscribed independent. Well, I am reading from a newspaper report, of course. That's a mistake. They have always been making that useless mistake of calling us independent people of Biafra. We are the indigenous people of Biafra. The indigenous people of Biafra. The deaf knows about, the deaf have heard it, even the blind sees that. So, but let me continue. They declare that they will do everything on the line to end the sit-at-home order of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. The declaration is contained in a communique issued at the end of their meeting with stakeholders and made available to newsmen. The meeting was convened by the Ebonyi governor, Devil Umahi, and hosted by Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State. In that meeting, Umahi said, Umahi being the chairman of Southeast governors, he said that the governors were worried by the spate of insecurity in the region and condemned the continued sit at home. Umahi also said the governors, Southeast leaders, security chiefs condemned the spate of killings in the region. He assured that the regional security outfit put together by the state in the region, the Bubago or whatever they called it, would be launched to give it teeth, and laws passed in all states to that effect before the end of 2021. The governors and leaders of the Southeast condemned killings in the region and have agreed to join hands with security agencies to stop the trend. Now again, I want to repeat this very paragraph. The governors and leaders of the Southeast condemn killings in the region and have agreed to join hands with security agencies to stop the trend. When you read this paragraph, what comes to your mind is Python Dance 1, Python Dance 2, Python Dance 3. And ironically, they have also started another form of their Python dance. And now, what is playing out here is that the governors once again are about to give official backing to another orgy of murder and killings of Biafran young men and women. That is how they start. That is their modus operandi. That is how they begin. They will gather together those who call themselves political leaders, those who are politicians in the Southeast, those who call themselves governors. What they do is that any time that their masters desire to drink blood, and they will bring one form of military exercise, in quote, in paper they call it military exercise, but we know what all these military exercises are for. They will bring them down in our land, and then they will meet. They will incorporate religious elders or religious leaders. They will incorporate traditional rulers and gather them once again, always in Enugu. And after their meeting, they will come out with useless communique, and that useless communique is always the sign-off, the permission to the Janjaweed military terrorists in army uniform to begin another spate of killings and murder of our people. Imagine that those who call themselves governors, they gather together. In fact, if I read through their communique, they gathered together. There was no single point in that communique that actually dealt with the concerns of Biafrans in this region, Biafrans in these areas, in these states. There was no one. Their concern was that they want to, because their masters have been asking them, what are you doing with all, and why all these sit-at-homes are going on? They have no answer. And what they did, what they tried to do, was to see if they could somehow make that very peaceful sit-at-home that IPOB and Biafrans have been observing for time and time again. They want to turn it into an innocuous event. They want to make the world believe or see that the indigenous people of Biafra, this great movement that HOD Mazi and Kanu is leading, that we are violent people. But thanks to Kwabiama, because the way that Okike works is not the way that man works. Thanks to Kwabiama, because one of them who deliberately refused to be part of that last meeting they had on Tuesday, had a very, very cogent reason for not attending that very meeting. And what was his reason, or what is his reason? He said that the killings in Anambra State, and as we already told the world and told the Biafran people, that the killings in Anambra State, which climaxed in the brutal and barbaric murder of Dr. Akunyele, was actually a plan well executed by these politicians, many of them within Anambra State and the act leaders outside of Anambra State. They wanted to turn Anambra State into a war zone, because that is how they begin. Anytime that they want to do their election, their useless election every 4 years, that people are still not seeing that these bloodthirsty politicians are playing with their lives. Every 4 years, they will create anarchy in any place that election will hold, as a prelude, of course, as a prelude for what will come whether you voted or you did not vote. Now they want to make Anambra State ungovernable for the governor, and then they will bring in their army, because the election rigging that they carry out is what is always done with the army, not even the police. The army are the riggers of elections in the zoo. Now their fear is this: they are afraid that if the Biafran people continue with their sit at home, and on the election day that there will be sit at home, then the army being in Biafra land will of course be a waste of resources, a waste of time, because you will not see anybody on the street, you will not see a goat, you will not see nothing on the street. Biafrans will be in their homes, and when they are in their homes, it makes it a little bit difficult for them to cause mayhem and of course to rig this election. That is why people who call themselves leaders, that is why they gathered in Enugu, the hallowed capital of Biafra land, to concoct their evil agenda and attempt to execute it. But I want to promise them that all of them who attended that meeting, all of them who acquiesced to that useless communique, you are setting yourself up against the spirit of Biafra land, the spirit that owns the land of Biafra. And we will call them up, and they will do what they will do for our land and for our people. In Imo State, Izombe, as we speak this today and tonight, is under siege. Izombe is under siege because the army has gone haywire. Who invited the army? The man, the froster, the usurper, the imposter that is occupying Ikonso house, that calls himself Supreme Court Administrator. I don't even want to call you a governor, because you don't know what to govern. You're not a governor. You have no mandate to govern Imo State, not even a mandate to govern any local government. This very impostor, this very fraudster, is busy creating anarchy in Imo State. He is busy with the help of the Janjaweed terrorists in uniform. They are destroying people's property in Izombe. They are killing Biafrans in Izombe. These governors will never gather together to talk about the difficulties, those whom they claim that they are their leaders or that they are their governors. They will not talk about their welfare. They will not talk about their well-being. They will never speak in their favor, in anything that will be beneficial to them. They are using Biafrans to for their political, how will I put it now? They are to ensure that they still remain relevant in the politics of the zoo. That is what they use the Biafran people for, because they are not there for any of our interest. Look at what this devil Umahi did in Ebonyi, bringing one local government or one clan against the other to achieve his evil intentions and evil agenda. That is the two governors in Biafra land, Imo and Ebonyi. They want to bring in Anambra into the equation, the triangle, the heart of Igbo land. That is the sole agenda of the Janjaweed government in the zoo, and those who are helping and collaborating with them to bring the heart of Igbo land under the boot, under the control, under the oppressive rule of the caliphate, is none other than Devil Umahi and Hopeless Uzodinma of Imo State. I want to remind our people that since the beginning of this struggle, of this movement, it was only last month when the impostor in Asurok wanted to come to Imo State, and we declared that Biafrans will not see him. Biafrans must sit at home. For the first time, the memo of the Directorate of State was forged by the fraudster in Imo State. And he forged that memo saying that the IPOB leadership have cancelled our sit-at-home order on the day that the impostor in Asurok will visit Biafra land. Biafrans must pay very, very, very good attention, very carefully, to what I'm saying tonight. Because when Oyendu was shouting and telling you people that this man is nothing but a hand-picked tool in the hand of the caliphate. You people will not believe it. He, with those who are working under him, they lifted away the order for the seat at home, and with my signature still there, the stamp of the US still there, and put their useless cancellation of that seat at home. Now, fast forward again, some couple of days back, the same fraudster brought out another so-called press statement alleging that the IPOB communication officer, that is Emma Powerful, brought out this statement that the former SSG in Imo State has been appointed IPOB legal advisor. This same man is only showing what he knows how best to do. He ripped people off of their funds, of their money, before he even joined politics. And while he was in politics, he was still a 419er. And now they made him an administrator. They made him to usurp a position that he will never have dreamed about. He is still a fraudster, forging documents and telling lies that are from the pit of hell. Let me read further. They are useless communique. They said, we as well condemn the sit-at-home order by IPOB issued mostly by our people in the diaspora who do not feel the pains. My goodness me. Feel the pains. Which pains? Pains of the money that goes to your pocket, or pains of the Biafran people who have said they want to sit at home because their leader has been extraordinarily renditioned by the zoo government in collaboration with many of you as governors. Which pain are you talking about? It continued. The meeting resolved that governors and people of the South-East will do everything within the law to ensure that there is no further sit at home and people are allowed to move about freely. Umahi said. The governor said the meeting received a report from Nnamdi, the flagship social cultural organization in the region, on various matters affecting the Southeast, especially on security and marginalization. Now you ask yourself, they received a report from Nnamdi. I believe, and I'm sure, and I know that this report was not just given to them, presented to them there at that very meeting. They received the report in advance, which ordinarily, if they were people who had the interests of their people at heart, they will have very, very holistically studied that report and will have made that report, or whatever it may be, that whatever may be its content, major issues to deal with or to have been dealt with in that very meeting. But listen what they said. He stressed that the governors will now study the report for immediate implementation and engagement with the federal government for amicable settlement of issues agitating the minds of the people, especially the youth. Did you hear that? He stressed that the governors will study. And when politicians tell you that they will study a report, what they're telling you invariably is that they will put that report in the waste bin. They will just put it in the waste bin, because we know the history of reports upon reports that people with good intentions put together in the zoo for the government to put in place, to study and implement, and they will tell you, we will study the report, and then we will implement it. So if the devil Omahi in Ebonyi State is telling Biafrans that report, I don't know what it contained anyway, but that report that Ohanaeze gave to them, they are telling you here and now that they have put it in the dustbin because they will study it. And when they tell you they will study it, of course, you know what they mean by that, studying the report. The meeting agreed, I read further. The meeting agreed to support security agencies to restore peace in the Southeast as well. Now hearing the big masquerade, as well as to support the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State to ensure a peaceful process. That was the agenda, the main agenda of that meeting. They have already brought in their foot soldiers in Biafra land. They have already brought in their military equipment in Biafra land. They are already preparing. They are preparing as we speak to turn Anambra State not only into a war zone, but to ensure that another froster will emerge after November 6th as governor of Anambra State, the heartbeat of Igbo land, the Omambala, where we all began as a people. They want to humiliate us as a people because it's like when a foreigner comes to your father's land or to your father's compound and sees the Imobi, sees the what we call the Obi, an outsider will come to see the Obi. He has not only humiliated your name as a person, he has not only humiliated whatever you believe in, he has attempted to spit on the grave and the spirit of the spirit that lead and guard the land. And I tell them that the spirit that guard the land is ready and waiting for them. This battle that they are preparing, it shall be waged. It shall be waged, and Biafran people shall be victorious. That is the promise I make to you tonight. And like Oyende said, they will come to kill us. They will come with intention to emasculate us. They will come with the desire to eliminate our race, annihilate us. But at the end of the day, we shall win and we shall be victorious. One more paragraph I read. We commend all groups and the clergy for their efforts at interfacing with our youths. The meeting, therefore, mandated clergymen, the Christian Association of Nigeria, organizing and traditional rulers to continue to dialogue with youths in the region. Please, Biafrans, pay attention very, very carefully here. They commend all groups and the clergy, and they went ahead to mandate clergymen, the Christian Association of Nigeria, and traditional rulers to continue to dialogue with youth in the region. This very paragraph, or these two very paragraphs, brings me to the next issue that I have to touch on this very night. Because the intelligence report reaching the leadership of this movement has exposed the plan by churches to turn their place of worship to political campaign grounds. The intel we have is that the churches in Biafra land, and I'm going to be very specific, the leadership of the Catholic Church, the leadership of the Anglican Church, the leadership of some Pentecostal churches in Biafra land, and especially in Anambra State, are being coerced, are being in every manner possible induced to turn their place of worship to political campaign ground. But I have one message. I have one message for the leadership of the church in Anambra State. The message is that they should go, they must go to read the French Revolution and understand the ignominious role of the church at that time. And they must know what happened to the church afterwards, after the revolution succeeded. The Biafran struggle movement, the movement for our emancipation, the movement to extricate us from the contraption called Nigeria, is an ongoing revolution. If you are a clergyman, if you are a traditional ruler, and you play into the hands of the politicians, if you agree that the politicians will use you, because that is what they do every 4 years. Many of you who call yourself priests, many of you who call yourself pastors, many of you who call yourself bishops, they come to your church. They come to your mighty buildings, places of worship, and you give them the platform. You give them the platform to make empty promises in the so-called house of God. You allow them, you collaborate with them to lie before the God you worship, to lie to the people. And after that, 4 years, the people will be in penury. The people will be suffering and smiling. And another 4 years, you will go back. They will give you what they will give you. And you will again be part of selling your people to the soul. Selling the souls of your people. The well-being of your people to these bloodthirsty politicians. Now, why I'm touching on this point is that the Biafran people, especially in Anambra State, IPOB must not be held responsible if the churches in Anambra make themselves willing tools and willing collaborators for the continued emasculation of our people, for the continued subjugation of our people, and for the continued suffering of Biafrans in Anambra State. If the church makes themselves collaborators, they should go and read the outcome of the French Revolution. You must read it. And IPOB must not be held accountable when the people will rise against those who are part of the suffering that they have been put under for years and years and years. Devil Umahi and Hopeless Uzodimma, what the two of you, the assignment that was given to two of you to ensure that Anambra State is delivered, and now you are incorporating the churches. I can only tell you that what we as our people will do is that we are going to call upon the spirit that owns Biafra land to fight on our behalf. And they will fight for us. And what I'm going to tell you tonight again is that the IPOB should not be held accountable if the churches make themselves willing to in the subjugation of Biafran people, and the people show their anger against this collaboration. IPOB must not be held accountable. Dave Olomahi and Hopeless Uzodimma and the church hierarchy, the clergy, the priests, the pastors, all of you in the Anglican communion or the Anglican faith, whatever you call yourself, all of you in the Catholic Church, you will hold yourself responsible when the anger of the people shall let loose upon you. I will stop on this matter for now. But there is something very important I need to make known to people in Biafra land, and especially principal officers and the ESN operatives. Every ESN operative must, I repeat, must follow their commander on the ground. Every ESN operative, you have commanders, and you must, without question, without prevarication, you must follow the command or the order of your commanders on the ground. Therefore, as of this very night, this very moment, every contact with people not in the security structure of IPOB, in the security structure of the ESN, must cease tonight. It must cease tonight. All ESN operatives must return to their area of command and focus. You must focus on your core assignment. Your core assignment, which we know as Oyendu set it out, must be reestablished. That core assignment, all of you know what it is. I don't have to say it here in the open. You must return and follow your commander and concentrate on your core assignment, because we want to make sure that when the anarchy will begin, which these people are setting up, they will not have any reason to blame the Eastern Security Network. They will not have any reason to try to rope in our volunteer command. Indiscipline amongst operatives must cease tonight. Indiscipline amongst ESN operatives must cease tonight. Any member, any operative who is found communicating with those in the diaspora henceforward will count himself no longer to be part of this very disciplined and energetic force. From now, I want to say that principal servants and family members, especially those in the United States of America, you must begin to exercise yourself. Cut off further contact. Cut off further communication with any expelled and dismissed former officers. I am saying this very, very slowly so that it will sink in. Remove yourself from any forum created by such expelled or dismissed former officers. Because after tonight, you will not say you were not told. After tonight, you will not say, I did not know. Now, those who are continuing in acts of insubordination, those who are continuing in acts of trying to deceive our people, if you have been removed, if you have been dismissed, if you have been expelled, don't take anybody down with you, because it's only those that you are bringing into your forum and communicating with. They are the only people who will suffer the consequence, because for you already you are down, so you need no fall. You don't need to fear any fall anymore. But I think I find it very important that I make this last broadcast, I'll make this last information, I make this last warning to those who still are in forums that were created by those who have been dismissed, because they are imparting indiscipline into you, and IPOB have no place for such nonsense. IPOB have no place for that kind of indiscipline. You know, what baffles me is when we see what happened or what is happening in Biafra land, and these people who call themselves politicians and whatever and governors, they will, when they see this evil going on and happening, they will be deaf, they will be dumb, and they will be blind. They will not see anything. They will not hear nothing, and they will not even speak anything. A very respectable Hollywood actor, a man that people respect a lot in Biafra land, Chinwetalu Agu. We saw how he was dehumanized. We saw how an elder statesman was I don't even know the word to use, by people that are not even as old as his children. And these people are full and janja with people. They can never treat their people the way they come into a land with impunity, because the governors have opened the door for them to come in. The governors have signed it off. Devil Mai and Hopeless Uzadima the Frost, they have told them, come in. You have our backing. Nothing is going to happen to you. And they will come to our land, disgrace and dehumanize those whom we respect. For what reason? What did Chinwetalu Agu do? A man, it has become a crime to wear you're choosing attire in Biafra land. Chiwetelago is not a member of IPOB. Chiwetelago is not campaigning for Biafra. What will anybody say that this man did for people to be dragging him on the floor? For the terrorists to be dragging him on the floor and no word of condemnation from these imbeciles masquerading as politicians and leaders in the hallowed land of Biafra. It is terrible. And we condemn that act in all ramifications. That you released him is not the issue. Who gave you the impetus in the first place? Who gave the authorization? Who signed off that this man must be harassed in the first place? A man that was doing charitable work to his people, you went and accosted him and began to treat him as a common criminal, pulling him on the ground. Who signed that off? And the governors are there telling us they want to stop sit at home. The idiot in the Allah. Mad people everywhere. Biafrans, on a very sad note, I want to, the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, wish, and of course, the Biafrans, the Biafran people generally, we wish to extend our heartfelt condolence to a real elder statesman in Biafra land, to a real father in Biafra land, somebody dear to the heart of Nnamdi and Kanu. And I'm talking about Elder Mbatulike Amechi, who lost his wife very recently. We, the Biafran people, we mourn and condole you, our elder, because you are one amongst millions. We condole you because you stand on the right of the oppressed. You stand on the path of truth, and you do not fear to speak the truth to authority. Therefore, when we heard that your loved wife has joined our ancestors, it was a sad news indeed. But our solace is that she did not die. She merely joined our ancestors in the spiritual realm, And we believe and we know that she will continue amongst the spirits of our ancestors to fight for their children and help us extricate ourselves from these contraption, this dehumanizing environment called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Now, there is something that we must do, Biafran people, because somehow we have been contributing, we have been, in a way, bankrolling those who come as Fulani headsmen to come and rape our women, to come and destroy our farmlands, to come and murder our youths, our elders, and our mothers who go about their duties, who go about their working, their farm work in our family. We must stop financing this tragedy that is happening in our land. And from tonight, for the next 6 months, I am calling on Biafrans who have the means to begin proper animal husbandry in Biafra land. And this animal husbandry must comprise the husbanding or the rearing of our local cows, our local goats, and our sheep. These were what we used to have before they began to import the Fulani cows, which after they have had sex with them, they will send it to us, diseased animals for us to consume and for us to die without knowing what was killing us. From tonight, the 8th day of October 2021, counting 6 months from now, 6 months from now, we will ban the consumption of Fulani cows in Biafra land. I said 6 months because we want to give our people the opportunity to go truly and seriously into the rearing of cattle in our land. And that cattle will be Efibo. That is what we call it. We will begin the rearing of Efibo in our land, and of course the goats and the sheep that goes with it. Therefore, those of us in diaspora, now is the opportunity to create employment for our people. Now is the time to invest in Biafra land and invest in the keeping, in the ranching, if I use that word, in the ranching of our local cows and goats and sheep. Because after 6 months from today, there will be a total ban in the consumption of Fulani cows. And this ban will encompass using Fulani cows for any burial ceremony. This ban will encompass using Fulani cows for any marriage ceremony. This ban will encompass using Fulani cows for those of you who enjoy eating suya. It will also encompass using Fulani cows for making suya. Young people in Biafra land, you must go and learn. If you do not know how to make very sumptuous suyas, go and learn how to do it. That will also create employment. And our abattoirs in Biafra land, those markets where cows are being killed, you must, those of you who are selling cow meat, you must either join yourself together and begin the keeping of Igbo cows, and because after 6 months you will not be selling Fulani cows in any market in our land anymore. The word is enough for the wise. Great Biafran, we know that we are drawing very, very, very close to the last chapter of the Psalms. It is unbelievable. Many of you have been very, very committed to this project, or to this constant and daily intercession with heaven. I must commend all of you. And the journey is almost coming to a close. Therefore, I will enjoin you to continue in your reading of the Psalms. I will enjoin you to continue in the supplication to heaven on behalf of course, Onyendu, our leader, and for the Biafran people and for the restoration of Biafra. Additionally, however, we must do a very unique thing in Biafra land from tomorrow. Very, very important. Because Onyendu's court date is fast approaching. 21st of October is just around the corner. And everything must be done that has to be done to ensure that victory is ours and to ensure that our leader rejoins us very, very soon. Now, this is what we must do beginning from tomorrow, especially those in Biafra land. Every Biafran must go and get our local cola, not Hausa cola, not Yoruba cola, Ojibo. You must go and get Ojibo. And Ojibo that you will get must be the one that has four parts. Ojibo Barino. Get it and get it well. You may get them at the same time, 4 of them, or you may get them on a daily basis. When you have your Ojibo, beginning from tomorrow, either in the morning or 12 noon, the day you will call upon the spirit that owns the land of Biafra. I said Ojibo Baleno, meaning and symbolizing Eke, Orie, Afo, Nkwo. And then that Oji must be 4 kola nuts, full kola nuts, also symbolizing Eke, Orie, Afo, Nkwo. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what tomorrow is, whether it's Eke or Orie or Afo, but nevertheless, beginning from tomorrow, if tomorrow is Eke Day, you will bring 1 kola that has 4 leaves in it, four parts in it. Raise it up to heaven either in the morning or 12 noon. Call upon Chukwu Kikabiam, the spirit that owns the land of Biafra, the creator of all things seen and unseen. While you call him, ask him to raise the spirit of our ancestors to go ahead and prepare the ground for us as the day of Onyendu's court appearance draws closer. You will pray your prayer, asking for victory for our leader, asking for victory for Biafra, asking the spirits and Chukwokike to confound those in our midst whose hands are soiled in the blood of his children, and every other prayer that you can know or that you know is for the benefit of the Biafran people. That orgy, when you break it after your prayer and supplications, after calling on the name of Chukwu Abiyama, when you break that kola, It must, like I said, it must be 4. Not 3 pieces. It must be 4 in one cola. 4 parts. Don't eat the cola. Please, don't eat the cola after you have finished your prayer. Lasalia, throw it away on the ground to the spirits. They will take it up, and Chukwabiama will raise the army. He will raise the army that will fight on our behalf. He will also raise his mantle of judgment on the day of the court appearance of our leader. That is the first day. On the second day, if it is Orion, you bring another cola that has 4 parts. You call upon heaven, call upon Chukwukabiam, call upon the spirit that owns Biafra land, call upon our ancestors, and pray and commit Onyendu in their hands, and commit the ESN in the hand of Chukwukabiam, and commit our people also in Biafra land, those of you who are in the war front, because Biafra land, as we speak, is a war front. Those of you who are there, we must commit you in the hand of Okike, that he may continue to strengthen you. On this second day, after your prayers, break the kola nut. Don't eat it, please. Throw the kola nut to the spirits. They will take it. And Chukwukabiam will raise his army to fight our battle. On the third day, you do the same. Get a kola nut. Kola nut, Igbo kola nut, please. I repeat. That has 4 parts. Commit our leader and his court appearance in the hands of Chukwukabiam. Commit the ESN in the hands of the Chukwukabiam. Commit our land and call upon our ancestors to rise up. Break the kola nut and throw it on the ground for the ancestors and for the spirits to take. And on the 4th and final day, which, like I said, these 4 days symbolize the 4 market days we have. On the 4th and final day, get your last kola nut and do your prayers and break the kola nut and throw it to the spirits. None of these kola nuts must be eaten. None must be eaten. And when you have all done that, this must not be done by everybody on the same day. But once you have started it, if you started tomorrow, ensure that it is not broken until the 4th day is finished. And those who may start after tomorrow, once you begin it, make sure that you do not stop it until it is concluded. As those who are reading the Psalms are reading and supplicating before heaven, so also will we be raising the spirit that owns Biafra land to fight this battle for us, because as we can see, it has gone beyond the fight of the physical. The spirit of our ancestors, they are about to rise. The spirit of he that owns the Biafra land, the spirit of Chukwukabiam, they are about to rise to deliver their children and to deliver their land from the usurpers and from the evil and wicked people who intention had always been to wipe us away in order that we may not praise Okike as we praise him in our names again. But they are very, very mistaken, because the children of heaven must remain to praise Elohim, and we, the children of light, must remain to praise Chukwukabiam. Biafrans, finally, I want to give you a new inquiry line number. These inquiry numbers are meant for the Directorate of State, for the head of Directorate. Many of you may have desired to make suggestions, to get in touch with the office of the head of Directorate, but without being able to do so. Many of you may have questions which you wish to ask, but because we do not give the opportunity for questions and answers in my broadcast, these inquiry lines will answer your questions and properly direct you if you have any issues whatsoever. And this is only WhatsApp and Signal number. Now the number goes this way: +61 434 294 745 +61 434 294 745. The second one is +1 248 949 4843. I repeat, +1 248 949 4843. These two numbers are inquiry lines for the head of Directorate of the Indigenous People of Biafra. And I want to make two announcements. This concerns the IPOB family in the United States of America. And it goes this way: new appointment, which after this I will bring out a memo to make that much, to document this appointment that has been made or that is being announced tonight. Miss Linda Ndo has been appointed the Deputy Central Regional Representative of IPOB Central Region, USA. Miss Linda Ndo has been appointed the Deputy Central Regional Representative of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB Central Region, USA. Mrs. Linda will be deputizing to our Central Regional Rep in the person of Mazi Samson Ikwemamamado. Mazi Samson, who is our Central Regional Rep, will be deputized by Miss Linda Ndo. And we have a new coordinator in Illinois. Our coordinator in Illinois is Mazi Ubuago. Mazi Ubuago has been appointed the new Illinois, IPOB Illinois coordinator, and their appointment take immediate effect from this very night. And like I said, I will bring out a memo to properly, officially document and publicize this very appointment. Great Biafrans, we must do what we have to do. I have to say something. I know a lot of people have been wondering, But there is nothing I have to add as far as Biafra land is concerned. As far as Biafra land is concerned, the Biafran people, we have repudiated, we have rejected every aspect of the oppressive presence of the zoo in our land. And this includes, like our leader said before, we are not part of any election in Biafra land. Election is nothing for us because it has never brought anything good for the Biafran people. So the whole of Biafra land, we are saying that what Onyindu has said initially is what we, the Biafran people, will maintain and implement. We must remain focused, we must remain firm, and we must remain at alert. They have come to deceive. They have come to destroy. They are more moving around as if they are sheep, but they are wolves in sheep clothing, and they are only looking for those that they will devour. While you're moving around in Biafra land, be at alert. Be aware of the environment. They have brought in killer squad in our land, and many of them are moving in mufti, causing mayhem, making mothers to be childless, making children to be fatherless and motherless. So everyone must be at alert, and everyone must be aware of its environment. But I can assure you that at the end of all this, we shall emerge victorious. We shall emerge victorious, and of course, all honor and glory shall be ascribed unto him alone, to whom honor and praise belongs to. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra is our identity. Biafra is our heritage. And Biafra is our religion. And it is only to him, Elohim, the creator of heaven and earth, to him who made what the eye can see and what the eye cannot see, what is beyond the comprehension of mere mortals. He whom we praise in our name, it is only him that is worthy of worship, and it is only him that we Biafrans worship, and him alone whom our ancestors worship. It is only before him that we can bow down, because we do not bow down before mortals, and we cannot bow down before any mortal. Irrespective of whatever difficulties they will think they can put us into, we cannot worship and we cannot bow down before a mortal. But Chukwuabiama, we will bow down before him all the days of our life, and we shall teach our children that he who delivered us out of this quagmire, who saved us from total destruction, it is only him that must be worshipped. I want to thank you all for listening this very night and this very morning or evening, depending on your time zone. And I want to commend and commit all of you into the hand of Elohim, that he may guide and preserve and protect all of you in your going out and in your coming in. May he envelop you with all His love and spirit. And may He make ways for you and for us where there is no way. Let the spirits in Biafra land rise up. From tomorrow, when we begin this process, we shall march ahead and victory shall be ours. From me, from here, I want to say to you, good night and sleep well. Thank you very much.